Hello everyone, Rorius here. Today we're back with Half-Life 2, Episode 1, Developer Commentary. I don't remember where we got up to. Trying to figure out while I was standing there before starting recording what I was doing. Last video. Get the hell out of the way. Oh, she killed them all. Never mind. I was getting sick of her not killing them. Okay. We're far enough away. She's not going to start doing stuff.
Our AI is inherently unscripted, which means that we have to design spaces that permit our characters to make good choices. The AI is better able to make intelligent decisions when there are alternate routes through a combat space. This hallway started out as a straight-shot corridor with a door at the end for soldiers to enter through, but this design didn't provide the AI with enough choices to make the soldier behavior very interesting. Adding an additional space on the side allowed them to find cover and flank the player, both of which dramatically improved the entertainment value of this encounter.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just very simple change, but it's useful for the way that the AI works. Yeah, you get little glimpses of the...
We just broke about 50 Combine regulations. What's that beeping sound?
Oh yeah, it's the door. Yeah. This node will tell you about that. Now there are little secret advisor moments throughout this game. I say secret, but there's just like... there'll be an advisor on the screen for a brief second or something like that. It's kind of a bit like the G-Man ones from the previous game, but in this episode, and up until most of the way through Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 2, you don't see the G-Man anymore, which is really neat. I find it really interesting. Anyway.
The first prototype of Episode 1's door blast effect was here in the Combine Garrison. Being peppered with chunks of wood while soldiers poured into the room through a haze of smoke proved to be an effective dramatic tool. It was also an excellent way to simultaneously ungate the player and flood the area with enemies. It was so unanimously successful in playtest that we ended up adding it in several places throughout the episode.
Yeah, there's a few times where that's used quite effectively. Was it in Half-Life 2? I feel like it was in the original game as well. I feel like there was one or two places where that was the case. Okay, well, let's move on. Sorry if my voice sounds a bit raspy or something. For some reason I can't clear whatever it is that's causing that away. Was that guy just like fleeing? Was he supposed to be as part of the fight? Oh, this bit. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can listen to this node before we hop down.
At this point in the action, we really felt that we needed a combat crescendo. Antline guards make great boss challenges, and we decided to add some Combine forces to the mix because watching AI characters fight each other is always entertaining.
Yeah.
This setup had a few other benefits as well. Since players had previously only fought alone against the guards, this was the first time they'd actually witnessed secondhand the effects of a guard headbutt. They'd also see an APC in action, and in case there was any doubt, get definite proof that Combine soldiers and Antline guards don't get along, underscoring the collapse of Combine dominance in City 17.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna say there is actually a few moments where you see guards attacking Combine in the original Half-Life 2. The last Guardian that you fight, the one that's right at the end of the prison, you fight. The Combine are there first, and you fight alongside them. Damn, I was gonna see if I could do that. Oh god. Ah! God damn it. I'm gonna let them fight it for a bit. Fight it out. I jumped. I literally jumped. Ah! Shit. Yeah, you haven't seen... We've seen a lot of things that Antline guards can do. One of the things we hadn't seen was them... Oh god. Attacking a, Go away. Go away. No! Help, Alex! Where are they coming from? I saw this one first. God, 3 of them came out of the same burrow all at once. Cover the burrow! There we are. Well, shit. That was overwhelming. Oh. Alex, let me. When I use it, for some reason, it's better. Oh, that was the last guy. Never mind. God damn it. I like this music, but I want to listen to this node. I actually love this music. It's one of my favorite tracks. Shall I just try and listen to it through the music? Let's hope.
Antlion Guard arenas have a few specific design
Nah,
requirements.
it's too loud. I'll wait for the music to die down. Okay, that's better.
Antlion Guard arenas have a few specific design requirements. For instance, since the guard is only armed with a melee attack, we can't let the player reach any place that's inaccessible to the guard, such as rooftops and other high perches that the player could only arrive at after being launched by a guard headbutt. The arenas also need plenty of physics objects for the guard to toss, and at least one unlimited ammo crate, so that the player can't run out of ammunition before killing the guard.
Right,
For this battle, we also introduced a steady stream of regular antlions to limit the player's ability to constantly circle the antlion guard.
Yeah, actually, personally, my favorite Antlion Guard moment is when you're fighting them in episode 2. I don't think that they're all that well implemented. Like, they're fine. They work fine, but they don't feel like a clever enemy implementation in either Half-Life 2 or episode 1. I think in episode 2 they're much better designed. Just purely from the way that you fight them. The fact that you are sort of in a fort and they're sort of assaulting the fort, but you have protection space. Like, one of the things that was happening here was I was circling, just sprinting, constantly circling, because there's no real place that you can get away from the Antlion Guard. It can constantly assault you. So having like an area that you can sort of take some kind of shelter makes it feel more... It actually makes it feel scarier in some ways, because stepping out of that barrier, stepping out of that blockade, immediately makes you feel vulnerable, because, yeah, the Antlion Guard can get you. I don't know if she's gonna talk. Are you gonna stand there? Be a good NPC? Oh. Rebel soldier, fired a rocket launcher. Okay, well. Now that I'm far away enough from the cars that they won't annoy us.
In early versions of this area, there was no side passage off the street, and the gash in the road was created by the gunship that the player later fights in the hospital attic. As development progressed, however, gameplay, story, and performance requirements made this initial design unworkable. The new side passage provided a short break in the combat tension after the boss battle, and also helped us stay within our performance budget.
Huh. So you used to continue through into that part of the street. That's really interesting. I don't remember that node. I don't remember them talking about that. Cool. Yeah, so you add a little side path that helps break up some of the gameplay a little bit. Come on. No, for some reason I thought there was a thing behind that. I didn't know that Alex would stand on top of that. That's crazy. Anyway, yeah, so we've got another...
Man, another powered lock.
Pretty sure it's just... This is when she's going to continue talking about... vents? Yeah.
Your vent crawling skills seem to be in high demand today, Gordon.
That face. I always feel like there are a couple of expressions that... there are a couple of expressions that Alex uses that look a lot like Breen. Like, there's a couple of expressions that Breen uses that... Oh.
back so soon?
Shush. I got lured to a trap. Yeah, there's a couple of facial expressions that Alex uses that look a lot like Breen's facial expressions. It's weird. I don't know why. It just looks a bit weird. I suddenly panicked. I thought that I might not have been recording. I suddenly thought, shit, did I press record? I did. Phew. Thankfully, this is a game I can easily re-record. Like, if I accidentally forget to record or something corrupts. Like, if for some reason the microphone sounds awful or the sounds of the computer aren't recorded properly, I can always go back and re-record this. Other games aren't so lenient.
After the Antlion Guard fight, playtesters were reporting some combat fatigue. We decided to include an environmental puzzle here to break up the pacing before the subsequent street battle. We originally worried that a densely packed room full of hopper mines, trip mines, and explosive barrels was a little too implausible, but playtesters loved the sudden reveal of the room and then enjoyed navigating it, so this ended up being another case where we accepted a trade-off between fun and maintaining a strictly consistent fiction.
Yeah, no, it's good. Sometimes, like, there are some games that are just excellent, and it's because they're not focused on the reality that it is, you know, it seems excellent. Games like Saints Row the Third, Saints Row 3, that game is excellent. I think that's an excellent game. It's one of the last games that I've played where I genuinely loved every moment of it. You know, I just, there wasn't anything about it that really angered me. Everything felt really good, controls felt great, but, you know, it was ridiculous, but it was just a great game, great fun. That's a game that was recommended to me by my friend Daniel, the same one who I worked on Paul Unity with, and what a great recommendation. What a great game. See, I'd played Saints Row 2 before, just a little side note. Played Saints Row 2 before, but Saints Row 2 was much more, like, gritty, although it was more ridiculous than the original Saints Row. It was still kind of quite gritty, quite a lot like San Andreas, you know, quite serious gang-focused stuff. But yeah, Saints Row 3 was excellent. Saints Row 4 took it too far. Even though it was still really fun, I think Saints Row the Third is the best.
At one point, this was the site of a physically simulated elevator puzzle. It was kind of neat, but it caused a lot of problems in playtests. Even though the puzzle mostly obeyed the laws of physics, it wasn't all in line with the way we had trained players to expect elevators to work in our world. We considered adding some earlier training to support it, but quickly abandoned the idea in favor of a redesign that was more immediately understandable while still being fun.
Right, okay. Take that, puzzle. I usually try and do that. I usually try and get out before it sinks down. Because, yeah, it sinks right down and you have to just swim up. So, you know, you're arriving in the same place, but... Oh, where did you come from? Actually. Wait, no. Oh, I landed on the corpse, so I got hurt. Bastard. How dare you die in a very annoying place. Where is the bastard? It sounded like it was coming from over here, but maybe it was in here? No, this one. Take that! Yeah, we've got another vent. Oh, was that a secret, that thing in the elevator, or is this leading back to the elevator? This might be leading back to the elevator. Because there's a ladder that leads up higher in the elevator, in the elevator. And I believe... Oh, okay, here it is. Yeah, there's actually 3 barnacles. I killed one of them. Yep, so I'll go like that, and up here. You can take the barnacle up, which is what I nearly did. Then I was like, ah, nah, I'll do it. I'll do it properly. Yeah. I believe it's just up ahead where Alex mentions the story of you and Barney racing each other to climb this lab or something like that. Back in Black Mesa. Damn it. should have triggered it while I was up there. You idiot.
There you are. I thought you might have forgotten about me.
No, she's not gonna mention it? Alrighty. Fine, fine. Oh. I accidentally twisted round during that load screen. Ooh. No, 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 no! Oh! Oh! Ooh. Oh dear. Make me panic, why don't you? I've always thought it's weird that just by picking them up, they recalibrate to be your trip mines. I always found that weird. The whole Alex turning them roller mines into allies just feels much more genuine, feels much more logical. Even though it's still really not. Yeah. Ah, problem. Okay, what I'm gonna do... Oop. Nearly did something dumb there. Is I'm gonna... go like this. Did that blow it up? I blew that one up, damn it. Did she react to that? It looked like she went like, oof. I don't think she did. Oh, here's, yeah.
Here we go again.
Finding something successful and just like using it constantly over and over. Yay! Crowbar, crossbow. Crossbow. This is such a weird crossbow. It's so strange that you find it twice. I find that weird. Nope, stop it. Okay. Oh, that was for the door, of course. I was like, what was that for? See, that's a good introduction to the repelling guys. That I feel is like a much better introduction. Like going like that where the player's already looking up because of the shape of the staircase. That's a far better introduction in my opinion than the one that they originally started with. Because like it's a small staircase with no discernible features around it. You're in a narrow hallway. The only real place to look is up. If you're looking down, you're looking at a blank canvas, you know, you're looking at nothing. So you look up, and then immediately in front of you, there's two repelling guys. Like, that's perfect. That feels like that's what the original, you know, the first introduction of it should have been. Yeah, so this is the other side of this street. Yeah. So yeah, this would have originally led straight on, but I think because of graphical limitations and the like, they didn't have it leading like that. Yeah. Oh god, I forgot there was more. Ah. Could have sworn I heard repelling. No? That's that it? Did I successfully kill all of them right at the start?
What are you still doing here? Everyone should clear out of the city.
The Combine's not making it easy. We're trying to get enough people together to force our way through to the train station. People are meeting up in a safe house nearby.
Can you take us there?
You bet. Let's go. This way.
Okay, hold off. Hold off for a second. I haven't seen any nodes. It's making me worry. I don't think there have been any. But, well, yeah, I don't think there's been any. Fingers crossed.
Hey, it's me. Open the door.
What's the password?
I'm not even gonna tell you to shut up.
Come on in.
I love that password. Where did the...
To the process of embryonic development were selectively prevented from forming.
Kleiner's daughter, right?
Is no longer
no.
the case.
My dad's a
For
Dessa
those so
cousin.
inclined, now would be an excellent time for procreation, which is to say, in layman's terms,
Dr. Kleiner really telling everyone to
doing your part for the revival of the
get busy?
species. We must make the most of the time we
Okay,
have,
so that's...
as it is by no means certain how much time we
That's when Alex says that.
before the Combine attempt to restore their dominion, as they certainly shall.
Kleiner's off center.
Since
Nice.
this is, in fact, the first opportunity we have had to speak openly
Oh.
of the baleful influence of the Combine, there is much ground to cover. And in fact, I hope to institute a series of useful bulletins
I thought
in
that
the days ahead.
Alex mentioned that
For now,
the
we will have to content
the first time you come to Kleiner's,
exposition.
you know, dialogue, and so I waited for ages to get it all.
Find another way up.
Had repercussions
Yeah,
that were not
I spent ages waiting for Kleiner to get to that section so that Alex could say that, forgetting that it's not at that point.
Thus, for the time being, I believe that all Combine forces have failed completely, as well as all communications systems based on that technology. In short,
Yeah, here's a little trap.
Combine are completely cut off. Combine forces are now isolated units.
Take that. Let's listen to this. God damn it.
Force ever wider as they greater and greater numbers. In addition to the complete
Just take care of those guys first. Really didn't need to do that.
This space was designed to lure players onto a section of breakable floor that drops them into a room full of zombies. Players are enticed into the trap by some reward items and a chance to peek in the hole. We like to
Yeah.
surprise players, but we never want them to feel like they've been treated unfairly.
Yeah, so if you already know about the trap, you can avoid it. And I typically do. I prefer to avoid it. Oh, there was still one there. I believe that just leads to the lower floor, and then you just, like... Yeah, and that just leads to that door that we weren't able to go through before. I'm not... Oh, God. I was just about to say, I'm not gonna go down there. I'm not gonna waste time going down there.
family crushed.
Well, shit.
Some of our neighbors have allowed themselves to be co-opted
One time.
and purged of their human
It's the...
by the military.
It's the pair.
Trust those boarders.
It's the two.
Those who resisted.
We've been following them this whole series.
Taking the scenic route, eh?
I cannot overstate
Damn it, I
how
missed.
important it is that we retain our humanity. Only this will allow us to hold together as we must.
They're talking bad about Kleiner.
What is certain to be unimaginable retaliation. And
I'm reading the dialogue from those people. They're just talking about random stuff about the city.
Gordon, Alex?
Yeah, it's
I don't
Bonnie.
believe it. How the hell did you get out of the Citadel?
We're not exactly sure. All I know is the Vortigots had something to do with it. But what about you, Barney?
I'm doing okay, just going crazy trying to.
They found us!
Hell, Gordon, were you followed again?
Of
We still have
course.
some information from
It's
the
me.
Citadel on our way out. I don't know what it is yet, but it's important enough that they've been hounding us the whole way here.
Well, that puts the pressure on. Look, we gotta get moving. You guys know about the evacuation trains, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've been planning to make a push on the train station. Now it looks like we're gonna have to cut a path through every chicken ship metro cop who's having second thoughts about defending City 17.
Gordon and I took a separate route. We could draw the Combine away from you. That'd give you a chance to get the trains filled up before we get there.
Really? Well, if you say so. Now, come here, look over
I don't
here.
know if that works very well. I like this.
Cross this bridge over the rooftop.
I think this
to
is
the
cool.
safe path to the station. You two head that way. I'll hit the streets and round up everyone who's been waiting. We'll meet you there.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Hey, Gordon, before you go, I was getting tired of carrying this around. Listen, I don't have many more of these, so try not to lose this one, okay?
We lose it again.
Go on across, Gordon. She's
Yo.
waiting for you. You lucky dog, you.
Shush. Wait a second.
Barney, like Dr. Kleiner, is one of the characters with the deepest roots in Half-Life 1. His personality is more iconic and retains more of the comic stylization of the first game. This type of character allows us to mix up the mood a little bit, to inject some absurd humor into the otherwise grim scenarios of the Half-Life universe. While characters such as Alex and Eli Vance have allowed us to explore more realistic dramatic possibilities, we're still very much attached to our roots in satire and black humor.
Yeah, oops. I do feel like sometimes the mood of Half-Life 1 and the earlier games were a lot funnier, for want of a better word, funnier. Just more, it's more like Portal. Portal's humor is great. Let's listen to this, though.
Barney's big crowbar scene here required a few tricks to pull off.
Yeah.
There are actually 3 separate crowbar models in this sequence. First, there's the one stuck in the machine.
Yeah.
When Barney grabs that one, we remove it from the world and switch on a second crowbar that's been in Barney's hand the entire time.
Yeah, just invisible. Yeah.
Both of these models are purely decorative. So as soon as Barney makes his tossing motion, we hide the second crowbar and create a third usable crowbar that then bounces to the ground.
Yeah. or immediately gets picked up by you if you're like me and stand right in front of him. Like this. Oh. Like this. Personal space. Nope. Okay. Oh god. Okay. Goodbye, Barney. I believe this is the last time I ever see you.
See you at the station.
Oh no, that's right. That's that whole station bit. I blocked that bit out of my memory. You don't even have to use the crowbar on this bit, because you already have a gravity gun. Yeah. It's, instead of showing it earlier like they mentioned before, they show it now. Because it's going to become relevant soon, but they weren't able to have it show up earlier. What the frickin' hell? I don't know what happened there. God damn it, I was trying to... Oh, nice. I was trying to shoot that. I was trying to shoot the freaking barrel. Couldn't do it. Whee! Oh, this bit's cool. I like this bit. Because that's something that you hadn't seen. This is something we hadn't really seen before in Half-Life 2. Yeah, we'll see it in a bit. I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't actually seen this game. But there's a neat scene up ahead.
Hey, a hospital. Keep an eye out for medical supplies.
Yeah. This is humorous as far as I recall. Yeah, they keep showing you little hints of the gunship.
Whenever possible, we like to foreshadow impending boss battles by introducing the enemy before the actual fight.
Yeah.
In this case, you know you're going to be seeing that gunship again pretty soon.
Yeah. I do like it. I think it's well done. Well done enough, in my opinion. Some ammo. Yeah, but there's a scene we're just about to... Alex is about to mix things up with us. Well, it's not mixing it up for me. I've been doing this the whole time. But Alex will mix it up soon. Oh, whoops. Yeah, so you're looking out for... You're in a hospital, so you're keeping an eye out for medical supplies. What you don't count on is... trying to, like, hold off from saying anything. I don't know why I'm bothering. Oh. Okay, must be just up ahead. the bit I'm thinking of. This should stay here for the whole boss battle. So, just quickly. I always forget that this guy is the one with the rocket launcher. I always forget that. Here we go. Okay, so... yeah, this environment is crazy, because like almost everything is destructible. This boss is really neat. I actually prefer this gunship... oh my god. This gunship boss to other gunship bosses. Just because you're in a really unique environment. And like the gunship's fire is relentless, but it's like you're in such cover that it's okay. You can sort of handle the relentless gunfire. And you can get a few peak shots off at him. Oh, I got him! I got him by aiming at the roof! Oh my god. He's coming, he's coming. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, Jesus, Gordon, you're a real terror.
Oh my god, I'm stuck.
Think it's dead? Maybe you should whack it with a crowbar just in case.
I'm stuck. I'm just gonna no-clip out. I don't like using no-clip, but I wasn't gonna let that be the end of me. I can't use the frickin'... can I? Oh, I could have. I could have frickin' done that.
Oh, God, not again.
God damn it. I wanted to see Alex's reaction a little bit up closer. They took too long to move out of the way, so they just all died. Well, two of them. But no, I was thinking I was gonna have to fight the thing again because I wasn't able to get out of this guy, and so it annoys me when I have to see like a NPC do something in a weird situation. Like I couldn't really see Alex while she was talking to me. Nevertheless, let's listen.
Instead of letting the gunship AI have its own way here, we forced the ship to crash right into the attic.
Yeah.
It's a dramatic payoff for winning the battle, and it gives players an opportunity to examine a gunship up close at their leisure.
Yeah. So you can have a look at the... because you never really get to have a good close look at the gunship. Yeah, it crashes in here, but it doesn't have to crash here. Like, it's fallen right down inside here for me before. So it's still a physics object. It's still manipulatable. Yeah, you get to see all the close-ups of like the big gun that they have mounted into its face, and like the weird technology, like the booster pack attached to its wing, which is, yeah, you look at that, it's like it's not a propeller made of metal, it's a propeller made of the wings of this creature. Whenever it used to fly, you know, back when it used to fly.
We designed this gunship battle to create a dynamic, evolving experience, while still keeping the player within a constrained area.
Yeah.
Initially, the space appears straightforward, and provides plenty of cover. As the environment gets progressively more damaged, combat becomes more challenging. Players are increasingly open to enemy fire, and the path to the rocket crate becomes more difficult to navigate. As the roof breaks apart, however, the gunship also becomes more visible, and therefore easier to hit, keeping things relatively in balance. The lighting in this area was tuned to play off of the HDR tone mapping effects, between the dark inner spaces and the progressively open, bright sky above.
Yeah. See, as he was saying, like I like that a lot about the dynamically changing environment for the boss battle. The fact that at first, yeah, you've got this you've got this closed space, and you've got lots of cover, but in the same vein, it's really hard to hit the enemy because it's, you know, it's very few windows out to the outer space. And as the battle goes on, more space opens up. I really like it. I like it a lot. I tried replicating stuff like this with like lots of breakables, but it's so taxing on the engine. What the? Oh man, I didn't know that could actually happen. I've never seen that actually happen. I didn't know that was possible. Anyway, let's move on. Wonder if Alex is gonna follow me properly. I feel like Alex is stuck. There we go. Man, that took frickin' ages to get her to... There we go. It took frickin' ages to get it to unstick. She couldn't navigate the top because of the damaged environment. Oopsies. Oh dear. AI sometimes, man. AI. Yeah, here we go.
Medical supplies. I found a shotgun.
Yeah, so she mixes it up. I think this is really cool because now Alex has a shotgun and isn't bound to her useless frickin' pea shooter. I mean, her pistol's actually quite powerful, but yeah, it's a cool section. She's got infinite ammo shotgun, basically. It's really cool. I want to listen to this, but I'll quick save it in case I can't come back. Let's get into this. Yeah, she has unique animations for the shotgun as well. So cool. And I think they have unique animations for her as well. When she shoots them, they dynamically, like, they bend over and are like, oh, sometimes. You get to see the hopper mines attacking the enemy now. You usually only see the hopper mines attacking your allies. Yeah, that animation where they like fall to their knee. Anyway, I think that's most of the enemies in this area, so I'll go back and I'll listen to those nodes. Oh god. I heard some gunshots in the distance, so I thought I'd come and check it out before I listened to the nodes. And then I just got startled like crazy. I'm very much afraid of not being able to go back and getting those nodes. Yeah, it's cool because there's lots and lots of little rooms, little hidey holes, and head crabs and zombies and combine are all intermingled. It's a cool scene. I really like this. This is one of my favorite scenes. So this is the thing with episode 1. Episode 1's full of my favorite and my least favorite scenes from the whole game. Okay, let's listen to the node finally.
The hospital was a completely new interior space that we had to design pretty much from scratch. Like most of City 17's visuals, it was inspired by Eastern European architecture. The surgery lamps and the overall white and yellow color scheme were drawn from photos of a hospital in Chernobyl. The tile work and the high archways were chosen to give the area the institutional feel of an old European hospital. And the beds were based on some World War II images. In fact, we avoided modern-looking fixtures and furniture altogether in order to differentiate the place from a contemporary hospital.
Yeah, to make it look more sort of old school, I guess, and by extension kind of, or making it more drastically well juxtaposed to, or you know, making the contrast between the Combine stuff and the human stuff that much wider. Okay, now we'll listen to this one.
We designed this area to be an entertaining showcase for NPC combat. Because of our
Yeah.
dynamic AI, these kinds of battles never really play out the same way twice. Players often like to sit back, watch the show, and then dive into the fray at their own discretion. We also felt it was time to introduce a new combat ability for Alex, so we gave her a shotgun here. Not only are shotguns terrific for zombie hunting, their size and ponderous handling characteristics make for some great combat animations.
Yeah, it makes for a much more interesting visual, because when Alex just has her pistol, she's way more static. When she has her shotgun, she looks way more sort of fluid and dynamic as an NPC. Okay, just because I'm not sure if I've been through here just yet, I'm going to listen to this now.
The door-banging zombies were supposed to give players a safe glimpse of a threat they'd have to face later in the level. In the original design, players couldn't open the door. The zombies would burst through on their own after the player had done a little exploring. We abandoned that plan when many playtesters exhibited a pretty much single-minded fascination with opening the door as soon as they saw it. We made the door openable, though if players ignore it, the zombies will eventually break it down themselves.
What's interesting is that I wasn't one of those people. When I came to this area, I always saw the zombies in there, didn't attack them, waited... Oh, oops, forgot to turn that back on. Waited, like, I used to come in here, avoid touching the door, making my way around. I'd you know, wander around, I'd search these areas first, and then they would break through. And so I always just thought that they broke through by themselves normally. I didn't think that they... Didn't think you were able to actually open the door for them. I was gonna go open the door because I've never done that before. Like, to this day, I have not opened that door for those zombies. The fact that their playtesters did that, that's really funny. Such reckless, like... They're clearly video game players, you know? They're clearly people who feel shielded by the fact that they're playing a video game. You know, they can just load. It's all good. So this should be 7.
To make the set of empty corridors look like a hospital, we chose some iconic hospital props that could be used multiple times throughout the level.
Yeah.
Then we built the models with details, multiple skins, and vertical and horizontal elements that would be visually interesting in the space.
Yeah, so they've got some, like... This definitely looks like a theater, like an operating theater. As opposed to some of the other areas which look more like just rooms. Hospital rooms. Yeah. This one over here looks a bit like a theater. Except this one looks more like a morgue to me. This looks like a morgue, even though they've got this sort of like... Although morgues often have these kind of lights as well. This is where they examine a corpse, basically. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll try and get to the end of this map.
After you.
Oh, yep, sure. No, you can't save yourself from that.
Oh no! Gordon, are you okay? Oh god, more zombies!
That's silly. Silly that they both fly through the hole. Does she come back? I don't remember. I don't want to just wander off if she's gonna keep talking. But yeah, I like this scene as well. This is, interestingly, this is a scene I think of a lot when I think of Half-Life. You bastard. Whenever I think of a platforming, puzzly section of Half-Life, this level, this section right here, is what I think of every time. Almost without fail, every time.
Too much of the same type of uninterrupted gameplay causes fatigue. Through
probably
repeated
because of this.
playtests, we learned that by the time players reached this part of the hospital, they were ready for a break from the intense combat. In response to that feedback, we inserted this relatively calm exploration puzzle as a change of pace. It gives players a respite from combat while still presenting them with an interesting challenge.
What the? I can't pick this up with my hands? No. You bastard. Yeah, I think it's because of that commentary node that I often think of this area, because when I'm thinking of like the variation in gameplay in Half-Life, this map, or this puzzle area always comes to mind. And I do believe it's because of that developer commentary node, because it's the part that talks about, so most specifically about differences in gameplay and player fatigue. There we go. There's more of them, isn't there? There's more of those floaty things, or do I just put it over here instead? Maybe I put it there. Yeah, that'll do, that'll do. Cool, because you turn this on, suddenly you got electricity flowing everywhere. All the barnacles die because they got their tongues in the water. Although this one doesn't. But yeah, all the ones that have their tongues in the water, they immediately die. Because they're... Ow. They immediately die because they basically get electrocuted. I think it's quite funny. Yeah, and they keep introducing new freaking barnacles for you to run into. Yeah, cool. Don't know why, that bit is always one of the bits that pops into my mind. I feel like some of the floor falls out underneath you if you're not careful in this area. Oh, there she is.
Sorry about leaving you alone down there, Gordon. I got a bit swamped.
Yeah. It's all good.
I see you did all right without me.
I did. I did just fine, thank you. So there should be 2 more commentary nodes before the end of this map. And then... Wait, and then we're good. You bastards. Okay, before we go down, I'm gonna see if I can get that. Because I believe this is a little bit of a nest, isn't it? Yeah, the zombies come along and they break the door down. Doors down, sorry. I haven't seen any new nodes. They'll come in due time.
Here they come.
God damn it. You bastards. Oh dear. Alex could die. She's actually capable of dying in these areas, so I gotta be more careful sometimes. Ah, yeah. So, that was that, I guess. I used a lot of my shotgun ammo. I really should be more careful. No, that's right. Yeah, what kind of hospital is this? This poor corpse is being zapped over and over. Yay! So yeah, here's the last 2 nodes. All at once. But I just let him... Nope, nope, Alex is gonna kill him. Never mind. Okay, let's listen to these.
This turret scenario was designed to showcase Alex's ability to provide cover for players in combat. She always hangs back a little, blasting anything that moves. In the original version, players could knock over lightly protected turrets with a single rocket, fired from the safe end of the corridor. We thought it'd be a nice way for players to feel like they'd pulled one over on the Combine. Unfortunately, playtesters routinely thought that they'd discovered a bug, or, at best, an exploit that had arisen from sloppy design. So in this case, a situation we deliberately created to make the players feel clever actually caused them to think we weren't doing our job very well. As a result of this feedback, we added a force field and additional grating to better protect the turrets.
Never mind then.
What you're seeing here is a visual representation of a node graph.
Yeah.
A set of nodes and all the connections between them. The node graph is used by NPCs to figure out how to move around the world. It's not really a specific set of instructions, but rather a sort of information repository. Among other things, NPCs use the node graph to dynamically chart paths to distant areas, find cover, or scout out firing positions with a clear line of sight to their enemy.
Yeah. So I've dabbled with those in Left 4 Dead, because I made a couple of Left 4 Dead maps and I utilized those mainly just for figuring out how to get the AI bots, you know, to navigate. But yeah, because I hadn't bothered to do anything like that when I was making Half-Life stuff, so I was terrible. And TF2, of course, never had any problems with that game, and Half-Life, of course, as well. Did I say Half-Life? I meant Portal. Portal, no problem. You know, no NPCs to make things for, so... So yeah, let's get to the end of this area. You bastard. It's gonna stand here, let Alex deal with them. And the turrets. Thank you, Alex. Wow, how is Alex standing there? And it just... How? 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 Can I throw this? I can. Oh, okay. When you get close enough, it just closes the gates. Sure. All right. Yeah. So we're probably about to reach a level load. Yeah, right here, right? Literally right here. Because yeah, I think we run out of time for. God, I've been recording way longer than I thought I should have. Why do I always do this to myself?
At any rate, the train station.
Yeah. Okay, so let's not let it continue any further. We're getting near the end of the game because we've got this is the part where I believe we're up to the part where we fight off some Combine and then we help Barney move a ton of citizens to the train, which is tedious. I hate that bit. In fact, it's one of my least favorite parts of the whole series. And then once we've done that, once we've gone through like that same area like 4 or 5 times, there's the diversion section where Barney goes off by with just the citizens, and we catch another train. And then from that train, you know, on the way to the train, there's a boss battle and there's stuff, and then that's the end of episode 1. So we're getting very close to the end of the game. Just a little bit long, probably still a couple of episodes at least left of the series, and then we'll be moving on to episode 2, of course, which is a longer game and still has nodes all through it, and some of the nodes are in sort of secretish places. So yeah. Until then, if you like what you saw, hit like. If you want to see more from me, then subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and as always,